Hello Ms Ellen Rom class, welcome to your first handwriting lesson for our online learning lessons. Over the next few weeks we're going to be practicing using capital letters in our handwriting. So we're going to do the letters each week and then we're going to write them within words as well. So our focus letters for today are capital letters A and capital letters B. Can you remember when we use capital letters? Pause the video and have a think. There are two reasons for which we use them. The first one is when we start a sentence after a full stop, a question mark, an exclamation mark, we will always start with a capital letter. There's another reason. Did you get the other reason? If the word is a proper noun, so a specific person, object or place, like one of your friend or family names, like the name of our school, the name of different countries and cities, the names of different shops, they all begin with a capital letter because they're a specific noun, which is called a proper noun. So we'll practice using capital letters within those as well. Okay, without further ado, we're going to start with our capital A. So you can see I've got my handwriting book. You don't need a handwriting book to do this, you might just use lined paper. If you do have a handwriting book at home, you are welcome to use that. So you will need a sharp pencil or a pen. I'm going to use a handwriting pen like some of you do in school. And my capital letters, I'll always start on my red line in my handwriting book, my top red line. It's a little bit like an ascender in that it starts on the top red line. So make sure you're sitting on a flat chair with your back up straight and your feet flat on the floor. This position really helps to make great handwriting and will also be more comfortable. You don't want to hurt your back. So whichever hand you write with, I write with my right hand. So I'm going to put my left hand on my page to secure it. If you write with your left hand, you'll just put your right hand down. This is just so the page doesn't move. Some of you might write at a slight angle like that. That's okay as well. So I'm going to take my pen. Remember, frog on a log, to your thumb and your index finger grip the bottom of your pen or pencil. It should be able to bounce like a frog. So you're not holding it too tightly. Your third finger comes underneath, so it's like the log, the frog sitting on the log. So I'm going to start on my red line. Okay, I'll start this side where the page starts, not in the middle. And I'm going to drop down. So I go from my top red line, drop down to the bottom blue line. You can see there are two. I drop down to my bottom blue line. Then I go back up and I drop down to the right. So you've kind of made the top half of a triangle. Then I do my bar across the middle. Let's watch again. Red line, so my finger space now. Red line, drop down, come off. Your pen needs to come off. You always drop down, we don't go up. Go back to the top, drop down, take your pen off, bar across. Should we do one more time? Let's do it in the air. So get your magic pencil finger out or pen finger. What are you writing in? Maybe today you're writing in glitter. Maybe today you're writing in a glow-in-the-dark pen or pencil. Pretend if you could have any pen or pencil, what would it be? Practice in the air as I write it. So in the air, go to your top red line, drop down to the left, go back to the top, drop down to the right, pen off, bar across. I would like you to do a whole line of those. If you find it tricky, you might want to do more than one line. Make sure you put a finger space in between those. I'm going to do one more with you. So, top red line goes down to the bottom, pen off. Top red line goes down to the right, pen off, bar across. Pause the video and have a go at doing that now. Once you've done that, we're now going to write two words with my capital A at the beginning. Can you think of any words that begin with a capital A? What proper nouns begin with a capital A? We're going to start with a month of the year that begins with A, and it's in the summer. Can you think of a summer month beginning with A? August. Just like days of the week, all months of the year begin with a capital as well. So we're going to write August. So I'm going to go on to my next line, and I'm going to start with my capital. This time I'm actually going to show you in a different colour for my capital. So my llama pen, of course. So I'm going to go to the top red line, go down to the bottom blue line. Top red line, go down to the right, bottom blue line, pen off, across. Okay? You don't need to use a different colour. I'm just going to use a different colour to show you the difference between capital letters and lowercase. Now, some of you may not know this, some of you might know this. We never join to a capital. So when I do my next letter, which will be a U, that's right, good spelling, I'm not going to join it to the bottom of my A here. We leave a space. Now, we don't need to leave a big space like this, like a finger space. Otherwise, we think it's a new word. We just leave a tiny space to show it's part of the same word, but that we're not joining into a capital letter. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go into my blue line because my U stays in the blue line. So you remember it's a tunnel letter. I'm going to go into my G, make a C, staying in my blue lines, up to my top blue. G is a descender, it goes down, touches my bottom red line, and to join it we loop up, remember loop up. U stays in my two blue lines, it's a tunnel letter. The S, we go to the top of the snake's head, wiggle back down to the bottom blue line. The T is an ascender, but it doesn't go right up to my red line, it goes back down, pen off, and then you do your bar across your T. A T is a little bit of a naughty ascender. Remember, an ascender is when the letters go up towards the top red line, because it doesn't touch the top red line like a D would or like an L would. It's an ascender, but it doesn't quite reach the top. Let's do another one. So finger space, keep watching. Now, top red line, down to the left, pen off, down to the right, bar across. Leave a tiny space. I'm going to do my U. Stays within the blue line. Curly caterpillar round to the start of my G. Descender, so goes down to the bottom red line. Loop up. For the S, top of the snake's head, wiggle back round. The T doesn't quite reach the top. Make sure you take your pen off to do the bar. So your pen should come off for your A, but then for the U, G, U, S shouldn't come off. And the T, and then you take your pen off to do the bar across the T. I would like you to do a line of August. Now, have a go. Okay, the next word we're going to do the name of somebody in year 3 whose name begins with an A. Pause the video. Who can you think of in Rom and Mizelle class whose name begins with an A? There are quite a lot of people. We're going to write the name Abigail today. Hi Abigail, if you're watching. As all people's names begin with a capital letter. Have a watch. So, I am going to go to my top red line again, just like for this A. Drop down to the left, back up, drop down to the right, bar across. Leave a tiny space, we never join to a capital. My B, starts my top red line, goes down. It's an ascender just like the T. Goes down, make the tummy. I stays into the two blue lines, and then we've got another G. Curl around. Descender down to the red line. Loop round. Now my A is a little bit like our C because it goes curly caterpillar round. But instead of stopping there, it goes up and down. The I goes up, down, and the L is an ascender, so reaches all the way to the top red line. Pen off, and then we do dots on both of our I's. Let's have another go. Finger space. Top red line, down to the left, down to the right. Take your pen off, bar across, tiny little gap. We do our B. Make sure you're sitting really nicely so you do your best handwriting. Pen off. So I've got one capital letter, two ascenders and one descender. Pause the video and write Abigail now. Okay, we're going to move on to our capital B's. So just like our A, it's going to start on the top red line. I'm actually going to leave a bit of space because I don't want it to bump into my G here. So I'm going to go skip that bit and go. So top red line, go down to the bottom blue, exactly like the A. Touches here, touches here. Then my B, I'm going to go back to the top of my top red line and make two bumps. Finger space. Red line to bottom blue line, pen off. Go back to the top of my red and make kind of 2 tummies. Let's try it in the air. Magic pen or pencil figure ready? Top red line, we go down, take our pen off, go back to the top, 2 bumps. Pause the video and do a line of those now. I'm going to do one with you. Top red line, bottom blue line, pen off, top red line, 2 tummies. Pause the video and do a line of capital B's. Okay, what is the next word that we're going to do? Can you think of any proper nouns that begin with A, B? Have a think. There are lots of people's names that begin with A, B. Can you think of maybe any countries that begin with a B? So we're going to write some names, but we're also going to do the name of a country. We're going to write Belgium, which is a country near France, and they speak French there as well. Well, some people do. Let's have a go at writing Belgium. Okay, so it's going to be, I'm going to change colour so you can see the difference between my capital letters. I'm going to drop down from the red, 2 bumps. Now we're going to do our E. So E starts here, goes around, L reaches up to the top red line. Then we curly caterpillar into our G. We've got lots of G's today. So descender, so it goes to the bottom red line. I, U, remember, goes up, down, that's a hard one. The M goes up, down, mountain, mountain. Pen off, dot the I. Let's have another go, that's a tricky one. Finger space, down for our B. 2 bumps, 2 tummies. Then bottom blue line for our E. The L reaches up, G, curly caterpillar round, up, down, loop in. The U goes up, under, up. The M goes up, down, mountain, mountain. Belgium. It's quite a hard one. Pause the video and have a go at doing that one now. Okay, the last one we're going to do is the name of somebody. It's a boy and Moselle. That gives you a clue. Whose name begins with a B? And they're Moselle. That's right, it's Barish. We're going to write the name Barish. Hi Barish, if you're listening. So, we're going to do our capital B. Leave a tiny space. We don't join to a capital ever. Then we're going to do our A. So, curly caterpillar round, up, down. Our R, we go up, down, up, wiggle. Then, as it stops here, we go straight down into our I, then our S, snake head, wiggle back round. Take your pen off and do your dot. Let's try again. Finger space. Down for your B. 2 tummy bumps. Leave a tiny space. A. Up, down, up for your R. Wiggle. Go down straight into your I. And then your S. I would like you to pause the video and write the name Barish for a whole line. How'd you get on? Make sure you upload your beautiful handwriting to your portfolio so we can see. Thanks for tuning in and see you next time when we'll be doing C and D. Before you tune into that one, can you think of any proper nouns that begin with a C or D that you could come with for next week? Bye for now.